Yeah, in Daniel chapter 9, it starts with Daniel giving a prayer to God, speaking about how they have been in exile and they have been away from God and the people are not following him and whatnot. And then while he's speaking, the angel comes to him and he gives him a message from God. And he gives him
Uh-huh.
a prophecy. So I'll begin at verse 23. It says here, at the beginning of your petitions, an answer went out. I have come. Verse 24. 70 weeks are decreed about your people and your holy city to bring the rebellion to an end, to put a stop to sin, to atone for iniquity, to bring an everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. One more verse and then that'll be it. I think one or two. No one understand this. From the issuing of the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until an anointed one, the Messiah, the ruler, will be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. So 69 weeks. It'll be rebuilt for plaza and moats, but in difficult times. And then after those 62 weeks, the Messiah will be cut off and will have nothing. The people of the coming ruler will destroy the city and the sanctuary. The end will come for flood. And until the end, there will be war, desolations are decreed. And he says more, but I don't want to belabor the point. The point is that from that decree made by King Artaxerxes, it's usually recorded to be 457. And the Bible uses a
That's
Bible
not the
uses
right decree.
Sorry, well, I'll finish and we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And the Bible uses a principle like day for year principles. So when we see prophetic language and we see 70 weeks, that would in turn be 400 and I think it was 83 years, if I'm remembering rightly. And coming from that decree from,
490 years.
yes, 90, sorry, 490 years, the
Hmm.
43 would be the 69 weeks. And from that decree, from Artaxerxes' decree in Ezra 7, 457 BC, from that decree to 450 it comes to 33, which is when when the Messiah is anointed. And it also foretells the Romans coming after to destroy the temple, the Messiah coming to put an end to sin by making peace and putting the devil to shame, by atoning for sin on the cross, all these things. So this would be a true prophecy that was directly fulfilled, perfectly fulfilled in the person of Christ, which would thus prove that Christianity would be true because an event foretold came true exactly as it was foretold.
Beautiful. First of all, this is not a true prophecy. It's a false prophecy. It's actually a failed prophecy. Daniel 9 is a failed. Number two, even if it were to be a true prophecy, it doesn't necessitate Christian dogma. That is, a dying anointed one who in his death puts an end to sin does not necessitate Christianity. That's too vague for that to be anything about Christianity. But we'll deal with the first point first. You said that the 70 years is 490. Okay, cool.
The
We'll
70
take that.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, 70 weeks. All right. And that starts from what year?
457, the decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem.
Okay, what's the decree? In what verse can I find that? In
You
Nehemiah,
go to the
right?
book of, sorry, you said what?
Is it in Nehemiah?
I believe it's recorded in Ezra. Ezra 7.
No, it's
Or in
Nehemiah.
Ezra? In Ezra, right? Yeah, in Ezra.
Yeah.
Okay, in
So
Ezra chapter what?
I'll get it for you. Ezra chapter 7, I believe it is.
Okay,
There's a
beautiful.
decree given in Ezra chapter 1, verse 1 through 3. And then there's
Yeah.
a decree given in Nehemiah
It's,
too.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
Ezra 1. It's Ezra
Ezra-
1, bro.
No, I'm talking about Ezra 7. There's a decree there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's a
Ezra
different
7, beginning
decree.
at verse 11.
Okay.
You could put it on the screen if you want to show everyone.
Yeah, just
Ezra
which verse is
7.
it?
Yeah, Ezra 7 starting from verse 11.
Now, this is a copy of the letter that the king gave unto Ezra the priest, a scribe, even a scribe of the words of the commandments of the Lord and the statutes of Israel. Artaxerxes, the king of kings, unto Ezra the priest, a scribe of the law, the God of heaven, perfect peace in such a time, and make a decree that all they of the people of Israel and his priests and Levites in my realm, which are minded of their free will to go up to Jerusalem, go with thee. For as much as thou sent the king and of the seven counselors, like of Judah and Jerusalem, according to the law of God, which is in thy hand, and carry the silver and gold, which the king and his... Okay, what degree is this supposed to be?
Yeah, so I'll read verse 13. The decree is in all those verses. I'll just read the important ones for you.
Yeah.
Verse 13, obviously, is a decree from Artaxerxes. And he says, he starts in verse 15, you are also to bring the silver and gold the king and his counselors have willingly given to the God of Israel, whose dwelling is in Jerusalem, and all the silver and gold you receive. Verse 17, then you are to be diligent to buy with this money bulls, rams, lambs, along with grain and drink offerings, and offer them on the altar. You may do whatever seems best to
Yeah.
you.
So
Right.
yeah. So
And then
what did?
one verse is 20. You may use the royal treasury to pay for anything else needed for the house of your God.
All right.
So what's so
So
the
what
reason I brought
decree
up
is it? Hey, brother,
yeah
you gotta let me talk, man. What decree is this supposed to be? The rebuilding of Jerusalem, of the temple?
yeah because in Daniel
So
9
this is not the rebuilding of the temple.
no let me respond. If
Yeah.
you read Daniel 9 properly, it said to restore and rebuild Jerusalem. So it's
Yeah.
not just
Is this
about
rebuilding Jerusalem?
yes, it's talking about rebuilding the whole entirety of Jerusalem, the
No,
temple, the
it's not.
sacrifice.
No, no.
Can I answer you?
So Bible lover, you're
If you
confused.
why can't I answer you, man?
You've been talking more than anyone.
You
What's wrong
just
with you?
read the thing and then you're cutting me off when I give you a response.
Brother, you just spoke. I'm responding now.
Go
I
ahead.
haven't
It's your life.
finished.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So remember, the decree is to rebuild Jerusalem and to rebuild the temple. Is
Mm-hmm.
that right?
Yes, to restore it
That
and
that decree happens with Cyrus.
nope.
It doesn't?
No, can I explain
All
why?
right. Let's go to Isaiah 45.
Yeah. Isaiah
I can't
45
wait,
verse
I
1
can't
through
explain
3.
myself.
And Isaiah
Brother,
44
let
verse
me read the
28. Let him
verse. Why are you
substantiate,
crying
dude.
already, man?
I'm
Damn.
just saying you
So
made a point.
Isaiah,
I want to respond to that point.
I'm gonna read the verse so you can respond, man.
Go ahead,
Relax.
go ahead.
12. It is I who made the earth, created mankind on it. My own hands stretch out the heavens. I marshaled their starry hosts. I will raise up Cyrus in my righteousness. I will make all his ways straight. He will rebuild my city and set
Mm-hmm.
my exiles free, but
Mm-hmm.
not for a price or reward, says the Lord Almighty. Who will rebuild the city?
Cyrus started the rebuilding, so Cyrus, yeah.
Okay,
agree.
okay, good. And who gave the decree to rebuild the city first?
Cyrus gave the first decree. I agree.
Okay, good. So then what year was that?
I believe that was the 500s.
Okay, and 490 years from that is what year?
That would be before Christ, but that's not.
So then it's a failed prophecy.
No, it's not. Can I answer you now?
All right, go ahead.
All
This is
right. The
basic math, man.
reason Cyrus's decree, and I've gone over this. There are commentators you can pull up. The reason that Cyrus's decree cannot be the decree is because in Daniel 9, and I hope you pull this up, but I'll say whatever. Daniel 9, the text says to restore and rebuild Jerusalem, right?
Mhm.
So it mentions the rebuilding. I'm not disagreeing with you guys there. Jerusalem will be rebuilt in this decree, but the rebuilding comes in context of restoration. So it's not just that the city walls are going up, that they're going to begin something and that with people to settle and that'll be it. But it's a restoration, that their sacrifices, the things they do in the temple, the ceremonies, the services, all these things will be restored. That's why it's a restoration of Jerusalem. So that's why I brought you the Ezra 7 decree of 457 BC, because Artaxerxes actually gave a decree to restore the sacrifices, ceremonies, and things. That's why
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
so
finish right here.
that's
Gonna finish right here, and then I'll let you
okay.
continue.
Yeah.
That's why he said in Ezra 7 to buy the bulls, the grain for the offerings, the water for the buy all these things, because this decree he's giving is specifically to restore
Beautiful,
Jerusalem. Not just
beautiful.
build the walls, but to restore everything.
I got you.
So, in the answer I just gave to Libyano, I told him that the reason Cyrus's decree does not fulfill what's spoken of in Daniel 9 is because Daniel 9's decree is in the context of restoration and rebuilding. So let me substantiate this a bit more, just for those watching. On the screen is the Hebrew text for Daniel 9 verse 25. It says here, so you are to know and discern from the issuing of a decree or a word to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the Messiah Prince, 7 weeks, 7 weeks, and 62 again, it will be built and da-da-da. The context of this word rebuild should be understood in the terms of the word restore. Cyrus's decree to allow the Israelites and the Jews to return back to their homelands was a decree that allowed them to begin a certain level of rebuilding. They obviously inhabited the place, they lived there because they were going there to start something. But his decree was mainly to free the exiles, because even in a history of the Israelites, the rebuilding of the city wasn't completed under Cyrus. You read Nehemiah chapter 1, and Nehemiah chapter 1 makes this abundantly clear, because in Nehemiah chapter 2, after Nehemiah prays in chapter 1, he asks the king if he can go back to rebuild. Look at verse 8. And let me have a letter written to Asaph, keeper of the king's forest, so that he will give me timber to rebuild the gates of the temple fortress, the city wall, and the home where I will live. So people were there. There were people inhabiting the place, but the fullness of Jerusalem was not established. It was started, but it wasn't restored. Artaxerxes, his decree in Ezra 7 gave restoration the ability to commence, the restoration the ability to be done, because he actually reinstated the central theme and focus of Jerusalem, which is the temple and its services, because the Israelite people, their central focus is to serve God. So with him giving this decree in Ezra 7 to actually reinstate the sacrifices, the ceremonies, and to rebuild the articles within the temple, and to finish the temple construction, things that were not done, this decree gave them the ability to restore Jerusalem and also do some rebuilding and continued rebuilding after that within that 49-year period. That's why, if you even look at the word used for rebuild here, we can open it up. Look at the definitions given. To build, to make, to repair, to set up. And if you go down here, to establish. So this word can mean to establish or to set up, which is the context of restoration, that we are establishing, we are setting up, we are restoring Jerusalem back to what it was, what it needs, which is the central focus, its temple sacrifices, and other rebuilding as well, to finish Jerusalem and to actually make it into a proper city. That's why Nehemiah, as I showed in Nehemiah chapter 2, asks us to return, because he wants to help restore what they haven't been able to do. And historically, Nehemiah 1 and Ezra 7 are closely connected.
The decree in Daniel is to both build and restore, right?
Yes.
Is the decree in Ezra 7 to build and restore?
Yes, it also includes building,
It's
brother.
one sec. No. The building happened with the decree in Cyrus, with Cyrus. Okay. Does the decree in Ezra 7 include the building?
Yes, because
It includes the rebuilding of Jerusalem?
the rebuilding of Jerusalem in this temple. Yes, the restoration
So
of
show me in
Jerusalem.
Ezra 7
Rebuilding.
where the rebuilding of Jerusalem is.
No
So
problem.
now you're just getting stomped on. All right, go ahead.
As you guys can see, this is where the rhetoric begins. He asks us to see where rebuilding is mentioned of in Ezra 7. Now, obviously, the word doesn't need to necessarily be there for it to still be stated. And it is stated because the Ezra 7 decree is literally a decree to evaluate Judah and Jerusalem according to the laws. So articles inside the temple, parts of the temple need to be rebuilt within the temple itself. Parts of Jerusalem need to be attended to and cared for and need to be built up again. Like, I don't know what view he has of rebuilding. All these things are included in what is known as rebuilding. So rebuilding would be involved in the evaluation of Judah and Jerusalem, which is recorded in Ezra chapter 7. So he doesn't know what he's talking about, which I made clear. And now he's just going to use a bunch of rhetoric, and you're going to see he's going to insult me a bunch of times, mention things that have happened, all sorts of nonsense, because he can't deal with the text. He can't deal with my argument, which he can't refute, because his argument shows that Christianity, which involves Christ coming at the time he did, specifically to atone for sin, to put an end to sin, to bring an everlasting righteousness by making a shame of the devil and all the principalities of darkness. He can't refute it because this shows Christianity to be true. He also mentioned earlier that it's vague. It isn't, but we can go over that next time.
I'm literally just reading the text.
I know you're just being okay. Let's see it. Where in Ezra 7 does it say rebuild Jerusalem?
Yeah. So, as I said, the rebuilding comes in context of the restoration.
No.
I
didn't ask Glenn. I didn't ask that. Don't in the context of where in the decree in Ezra 7 is there a command to rebuild the city? My question was very specific.
Can I answer you now?
Yes, please answer.
All right. So the Daniel 9 prophecy specifically spoke about the restoration
and the rebuilding of the city.
Can I finish, brother?
Okay.
Why do you do this?
Glenn, you do this every time you come on. I'm not gonna play your game anymore.
I have no idea what this foolish guy is talking about. I don't play a game. I answer him directly. I listen to what he says. I give him an answer when he asks for it. He just doesn't want me to answer in the way that actually fits the text. He wants me to answer in his way so he can try to make a point, try to get a clip. But I'm answering properly, which is that the rebuilding comes in context of the restoration. So Cyrus can begin a rebuilding, but the rebuilding in context of the restoration of the city with its ceremonies and its central focus, the central point of it being the temple, comes in Ezra 7's decree, where you can actually evaluate it and restart the ceremonies, rebuild articles and parts of the temple, rebuild and reinstate and establish parts of the city. All these things come in the evaluation of Judah and Jerusalem. That's why he literally says in Ezra 7, give Ezra all the silver and gold he needs to do what he has to do. It's crazy.
Where in Ezra 7?
You don't have to play a game.
So
Glenn,
you can speak as much as you want. The question was, where in Ezra? So the question was, where in Ezra 7 is the rebuilding of the city?
Yes, Ezra 7 regards the rebuilding of the city, in that the restoration of the temple and its services will be reinstated. Okay. So the city will be rebuilt in its services. It'll be rebuilt.
The city will be rebuilt in its services.
What does rebuilding
so
mean?
hold on a second. So when Daniel 9 says the city will be rebuilt, it doesn't actually mean the city will be rebuilt. It just means the temple sacrifices will come back.
No, you're wrong.
Okay, so does it then mean in Daniel 9 when the city will be rebuilt, meaning that literally the city will be rebuilt?
And what that means then is that this part of the city will have its stuff rebuilt.
Part of the city?
If you can,
a part of the city will be rebuilt, or the city will be rebuilt?
Brother.
Hey, Bible lover, don't stop. I don't want to use the B word, right? Stop crying. Stop crying on my stream. Stop crying on my stream, brother. Because you don't want to have a back and you don't want to have a back and forth. You just want to monologue.
You just keep cutting me off.
So, Bible lovers, I asked a very simple question in Daniel 9, when it says the city will be rebuilt. What does that mean?
It means that this part of the city, that's why the city is represented with its sacrifices, with its temple, all these things will be reinstated. It'll be restored. The things inside will be rebuilt. The altars will be rebuilt. The laborers, all these things will be rebuilt, reinstated, restored, so that the city can have its power, its authority, its status that it once had.
Beautiful.
Because the temple is the central focus of the city.
Beautiful. And what did Cyrus do?
So you guys can see he didn't actually pay attention to anything I said there. He didn't. I made myself plain that it does mention rebuilding. I'm not disagreeing with that. But the rebuilding, when it mentions city, is in context of the restoration of the city. So the rebuilding would entail rebuilding of articles in the temple, parts of the temple, to reinstate the power, authority, and status of the city, with its central focus being the temple and its services, its sacrifices, its ceremonies. And the rebuilding also accounts for parts of the city that need to be evaluated and rebuilt. I could have mentioned that more specifically on his panel, but what I said he should have dealt with, he didn't deal with. So after this point, so you're going to see a lot more rhetoric and just nonsense coming from him.
Cyrus helped them start the rebuilding.
Sorry. Did he start it, or did he rebuild the city?
He helped them restart the building. Sorry.
Did he
do you agree
help
that,
them?
do you agree that the building,
Bible lover, you're being sloppy because this is
you just said it's a back and forth. I give you
so
back
Bible lover. Did Cyrus rebuild it or not?
Cyrus helped start the rebuilding. Multiple people.
So he didn't rebuild it?
He did. He had a part to play.
So he did rebuild the city, right?
Yes, I'm not.
And what was the rebuilding of the city that Cyrus did?
Yeah, so I'll answer you. Cyrus allowed them to go back so that they can begin building their homes. They could start something, and then Artaxerxes.
Where does it say that?
Can I finish? It says this in Daniel, by the way. If you, then the Daniel, Ezra, the beginning of Ezra, the beginning of
Nehemiah. Show me where it says Cyrus only started. So this is completely ad hoc, mental gymnastics to make.
This is all contextual,
yeah,
brother.
no, it's not contextual. It's not contextual. It's not contextual.
Why do you do this? Why do you do this,
bro? When I talk, you be quiet, dude. All right. So there's nothing contextual about that. All it is.
Ready, bro?
Hey, bro. Do you have a brain tumor or what's going on?
You have a brain tumor.
All right, be quiet.
So you're upset now, so you're muting me. Go ahead. Make your point.
Hey Glenn, I'm gonna do what your pops did to you, man, the
No,
other
you won't.
day.
You don't. You know. You
Yeah,
don't. You don't know me. Just make your point. We're having a conversation.
just be quiet.
I ain't really someone that just lets people push me over. So every time he looks look at these little comments, I'll answer them. Because I'm not just gonna let him talk nonsense and belittle me like that and not respond. So you see, he's obviously, upset about that. His ego's being hurt, so he's gonna keep cutting me off and muting me when I try to respond to every piece of nonsense and BS he says. So just wait for that.
I'm talking, man. What's wrong with you?
Make your point.
You don't have to tell me to make my point. Just be quiet.
Make
All
your
right.
point.
Hey, bro, do that one more time and you're out of here.
You're crying already?
I'm telling you that right now.
Why you gotta cry,
Do that
bro?
one more. Do
Why
that
you
one more
gotta cry?
time. Do that one more time and you're
Why
out of
you
here. man.
crying? We're arguing about the text.
I'm
Let's
crying. I'm
argue about the
crying.
text.
I'm crying as much as you cried when your pop slapped you on camera the other day.
Big man like
So,
me don't cry, brother. Big man
all
like me
right.
don't cry, bro.
Yeah, but big men like you get slapped by their pops on camera.
Cause I ain't the biggest man in the world, bro.
So Bible lever, you don't want to do this with me because I could really
I
get
do.
nasty.
I want you to answer.
All right,
this
so
question. I
bro,
want
can you
to
be
give me one
quiet?
question.
Can
I
we
wanna
go back?
answer
Can we be quiet so I could show you your failed prophecy of Daniel 9?
I'm listening.
All right. It's very simple. Okay. There's nothing contextual about that. You are forcing a prophecy and begging the question where it doesn't exist. The passage is clear. When the decree comes out to rebuild the city, from there you count 70 years or 70 weeks. That's 490 years. You're saying, no. The decree of building the city doesn't count. Rather, the decree of quote unquote restoring this, by the way, restoring the city there, you assume it to mean the temple sacrifices will be back. That's just not necessarily read from the text. But anyways, granted.
He misrepresents my position again. I'm not saying restore is just regarding the temple sacrifice. I never said that. I did say that the city would also have itself restored. What I'm saying is that restoration of the city involves the central focus of it being restored with the temple and its sacrifices and its ceremonies, amongst other things like the city being reestablished, things being rebuilt, it being evaluated to make sure that everything they need is in place, as the text in Ezra 7 said. He's misrepresenting me again.
Restoring the city, and that happened in Ezra 7 with King whatever his name is. And so we count from there. Okay, then the problem you fall into is this. If that's how it's read, then it's neither this or that, because the decree, according to different things, according to me, it's paralleling one thing. To restore it is to rebuild it, and to rebuild it is to restore it.
In what he said then, Cyrus couldn't have been the one who fulfills this decree, because Cyrus didn't fully restore Jerusalem. They weren't restored. They inhabited the place, they were living there, but they weren't restored. In what he just said, the restoration and rebuilding work together, then it couldn't have been Cyrus. It had to be Artaxerxes who actually helped them restore and rebuild it by evaluating what needs to be done, what needs to be completed, which included the walls being built up when Nehemiah came in the scene, the temple being reinstated, the central point of the city of Jerusalem being established again, as the word rebuilt can mean. So he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't.
For you, the rebuilding and the restoring are distinct things. Rebuilding just refers to putting bricks on top of each other. Restoring refers to reactivating the temple worship. Okay.
Well, my whole point is that's what he's trying to make it say.
If that's the case, if they're two different things, then it's neither this or that, because neither decree does that then. Okay. So if we go to Ezra 7, is the city rebuilt in that decree? Or was it already rebuilt by Cyrus?
I'm going to answer.
Just directly, bro.
I'm going to answer you directly.
Go ahead.
The rebuilding was...
No, I didn't ask that.
Brother, why? Bro?
I stop playing around. I asked a very simple, clear question.
One word, bro.
The question was clear. You're not gonna run away.
I'm not trying to run. I'm trying to answer you.
See how disingenuous this guy is? I called into his live stream. This is the third time I've done so. I think the last time. This is the third time I've called into his live stream. And it's probably been my best performance on his live stream. Because he couldn't answer this at all. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's so disingenuous. He says, I'm running. When I called into his stream and he's the one actively muting me, not letting me speak, and trying to kick. Disingenuous he is. That's what you call running. I called into his stream, stayed on the exact point, didn't move off any text, stayed exactly in Daniel 9 in the text I brought up, didn't run anywhere, didn't go to Islam, stayed in the text, and he still couldn't answer. And yet he's trying to say I'm running. Just makes you laugh, bro.
And I could kick you if I want. I'm really just
that means you're running.
I'm running. I'm running from Glenn, who got smacked by his pops on camera. Whatever. Sure, I'm running. So, anyways,
bro, you're running from someone who you can't refute.
Yeah,
From
dude,
the
just
Bible.
you're so good, man. Nobody could refute you.
God is good. I'm not good. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. All right. Anyways, sounds familiar to what Jesus said in Mark, by the way. I'm not good. God is good. Yeah. Anyway. So the question was, in that second decree in Ezra 7, was the city already rebuilt by Cyrus?
Partially, not fully, which is the point of Daniel 9.
Partially, not fully, okay.
Right. Now, the reason I say this is because in the book of Nehemiah, he mentions how the Israelites had come back from exile and they were living there, but the city wasn't fully rebuilt. The walls were still broken down. The temple had not been reinstated. So historically, the city was not fully rebuilt. That's why I could say Cyrus started it, but the Daniel 9 decree would be from...
So watch this, guys. Watch how he just pooped himself. Does it say from the decree of the city being rebuilt or the city being rebuilt?
From the decree of the city being rebuilt?
And who gave that decree?
You're mentioning Daniel 9, right?
No. Who gave the decree to rebuild the city?
Yes, Artaxerxes gave us specific
No. Who first gave it?
That's the point, brother. It's not about who first, but who gave it.
This guy is slow. So, Bible lover, pay attention.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Daniel 9 says from the decree of the city.
Yes,
not from when the city is actually rebuilt, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so when the decree is given, not when the city is actually rebuilt fully or not, right?
From the decree that involves the restoration and rebuilding.
Okay, good. When was that decree given?
457 by Artaxerxes.
Did Cyrus give a decree to rebuild the city?
Cyrus gave a specific decree.
Did Cyrus give a decree to rebuild the city?
That's the point. Cyrus did.
So he's slow and brain dead.
Bible lover. I said yes. Cyrus did give a decree.
Okay, good. He gave the decree to
you directly.
All right, good. So he gave the decree to rebuild the city, right?
He gave a decree, but it wasn't the fullness of it. That's the point of Daniel 9. Daniel
whether
9's
it was
point is it will be the fullness of the decree, restoring and rebuilding so that they can read what they have to.
So I'm convinced he has autism.
You're so bad you needed an unmuted me.
I'm convinced you have autism. Honestly.
No, I just realized you don't know anything about.
All right, I don't know anything. So Bible.
You don't know anything about the Bible specifically.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Bible. So that's why I'm teaching you after your father smacked you on camera.
I'm teaching you. You don't know this.
Bible.
I'm teaching you,
brother. Are we gonna talk or should I kick you out?
You're the one keep cutting me off, bro.
All right. So does Daniel start counting from the decree or from when the city is actually rebuilt?
From the decree that involves the restoration.
From the decree. Good.
That involves the restoration.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So then you count from the decree, not from when the city is rebuilt or not, right?
Yes, you count from the decree
beautiful.
The restoration and
good. Okay, good.
I agree.
Now we're getting somewhere. So
yes.
Everybody, you guys heard it. You count from when the decree is given. All right. Did the first decree have the rebuilding of the city?
The first, I'm gonna answer you. Please don't cut me off. The first decree.
Why does he answer by saying, "I'm gonna answer you"?
Because you like to cut me off. I want to answer
brother. The question was, don't say I'm gonna answer you as an answer.
Does
the first decree mention the rebuilding of the city?
Yes, Cyrus's first decree mentions the rebuilding.
Thank you very much. Does the second decree mention the rebuilding?
Yes. It's not the second, by the way, but this third decree of Artaxerxes
mentions the rebuilding of the city.
Mentions the full rebuilding and restoration.
Let's see the verse. Let's see the verse.
Yes, the verse I brought you, Ezra 7.
All right, let's put it on screen, guys.
Put it on the screen. Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Ezra 7.
Yep.
Okay, Ezra 7. Here we go.
All right, you could start.
Which verse says rebuild the city?
Yeah, so we're going to get it from what the text says. You can start verse 11. Pull it up for me.
It's right here. This is a copy of the letter of whatever.
All
All
right.
right.
I'll read it. I'll read it from my Bible just so I can see. I issue a decree, verse 13. I issue a decree that any
Mhm.
of the Israelites in my kingdom who want to go to Jerusalem may go with you. You are to bring the silver, the gold for those dwelling, and you will buy the bulls, the rams, the lambs, the offerings, and offer them on the altar. You may do whatever is best. You may use the treasuries to pay for anything else needed for the house of your God. So, in the context of this
So
decree,
where does it say
and I
rebuild the
what?
city?
Yes, the city is not fully rebuilt. So when it
No, no,
mentions
no, no, no.
rebuild the
Where
Oh
city,
my
does
God.
it
why
say?
are you cutting me
No,
off?
Gablan. Where does it say rebuild the city? I'm tired of you, man. Where does it
Yes, I
say
know you're
that?
tired because you can't answer. The reason it says
One
rebuild
more
the city
chance.
is
Where does
because
it
it
say
mentions
rebuild
the
the city?
fullness.
Where does it say? Where does it
Yes,
say rebuild the city?
contextually, it's talking about the fullness of the city being.
Oh,
All right. Thank you very
right here.
much.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. You saw the last moment how he kept trying to press me on, what does it say, build, build, build. But obviously this is fallacious. This is a fallacy, the word concept fallacy, where a word has to be there for the concept to be there. That's fallacious. The concept is obviously seen in the text as I showed, where it talks about them evaluating Judea and Jerusalem. So seeing what needs to be done and then doing it, rebuilding the parts of the temple that they need to finish on, reinstating the articles that they need to finish on, the word rebuild being also translated as establish or set up, rebuilding that, reestablishing the temple, setting it up, the central point of the city. I made all these points clear. Just wanted to add something finally. I asked AI to give me a good analogy I could use. So I'm going to read what it says. It says here, think of a city after a disaster. A mayor says we are going to rebuild the city and the first step is restoring government services in order, not just laying bricks. Even before every wall is up, the city is being rebuilt because it's being reestablished as a functioning city. This is a proper analogy showing that rebuilding involves reestablishment, involves setting up the city, involves restoring its ceremonies, its services, its central themes, and also involves laying bricks and building walls and all these things. He even mentioned how Cyrus's first decree didn't actually fully allow the completion of the temple and the city's rebuilding. Ezra chapter 4 mentions that there was a pause in building of the temple. So all these decrees were part of rebuilding, and they all did a certain part of work, but to fulfill restoration and rebuilding, he kept trying to run away from that. Restoration and rebuilding is not just setting up some houses, but is restoring Jerusalem to what it should be, giving it back its status, its power, its authority like it had. And that comes with reinstating the temple, the central focus of Jerusalem, and finishing the rebuilding work to get the city back to what it needs to be, which is what the Ezra 7 decree of King Artaxerxes, that is what it did. Allowing Ezra to do what he has to do to evaluate Jerusalem, to make sure that whatever they need to do to get it back to where it needs to be and restore it to what it should be, and to establish it or rebuild it to how it should be, that will be accomplished. So he didn't understand. He kicked me off. He ran away. So God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And check us back on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God willing, we'll be live. Sundays, we are live at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And also Monday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Stay blessed. Get good rest. All the best. And at the end of the day, let God take care of the rest. Bible lover 1, 2, 3, 4. Ow.
Everybody sing Jesus tonight.